I don't get the top end gear. I just get.
We'll fix it. We'll fix it.
All right. Let me know when we're ready. We're good? Rolling?
I thought that said Selena Gomez then. It's Carolina Gomez. I know.
Good afternoon. Thank you so much for joining us as we preview the match against FC Cincinnati. Right now we're going to get started with head coach Phil Neville, followed by defender DAMION LOWE.
Morning, guys. I suppose a quick update on where we're at as a squad, as a roster, in terms of injuries. Joe are out, Ian Frey out, Nick Marsman out, but nearly back. Ryan Saylor will play some part of a scrimmage game at the weekend. So, but he's out of the first of the MLS team. Jovin Jones, I said Jovin. Jovin Jones is still out, but he's back in full training. But apart from that, we go to Cincinnati with a fully fit squad, which gives us good depth, good options, good flexibility, and competition for places is what we wanted when we constructed this roster. And so I'm really looking forward to the game on Saturday. I want to build on a lot of the positives from last weekend. Players were hurting because they put a lot of effort into the game in terms of the dominance in the first half, and then the physical dominance where we physically dominated the second half without tactically and technically dominating it. So we're going to try and build on that against the Cincinnati team, who I think, looking at them over the last 3 games, and we've watched them over the last 3 games, are night and day compared to the team that I saw last year in terms of the togetherness, the spirit, and the shape of the team. I think the coach has done an outstanding job early on. It's a stadium that's, I think, it's one of my favourite in the MLS. In terms of sort of like a proper football stadium, the fans are right on top of you. It generates a real good atmosphere, and I hope the players will enjoy going there on Saturday to perform in what is a really important game for us to respond and to bounce back, and to get a real positive result, which I believe is just around the corner.
If you have a question, please raise your hand. We'll get started with Lauren from Inter Miami, then Franco Panizo, Sun Sentinel. Go ahead, Lauren.
Phil, you kind of touched on the positives from last match. Can you go a little bit more into depth about where those positives that the team are going to be taking into Saturday's match?
Yeah, well, I think coming off the back of a 5-1 defeat, I think it would have been really easy for us in that first half against a really good LAFC team to be nervous, to be cautious, to not be able to play with a flow. And I thought we showed real courage and bravery to play the way we did in the first half. And I'd say the only thing was missing was the quality that was needed in the final third, the quality that was needed in terms of the composure in the finishing actions. And that's where we need to be more ruthless now. 1 goal in 3 games, we need to improve on. In the 3 games, we've had 37 shots on goal, 19 on target. So you're thinking, compared to where we were last year, we're definitely creating a lot more. But now you're thinking about the top end of the pitch being more ruthless, showing more composure, and without doubt showing more quality. And that's what we've been hammering home to the players this week. I always think that the 2 ends of the pitch are the most important ones, and the top end of the pitch, we just need to show a little bit more quality.
Next question, Franco Panizo, then Austin.
So what kind of game do you expect from FC Cincinnati coming off a big win for them?
Yeah.
Snapped a long losing streak, so
Yeah.
they'll probably have a little bit of confidence. They'll be at home with their crowd behind them. What kind of game?
Yeah, I think they will. I think they will have lots of confidence. I think to win in Orlando is it takes a real lot of effort, and they played fantastic. I watched the game on Saturday night when I got home. Like I say, I see different qualities from them. I know there's a Philadelphia influence with the coach and the CSO. So there's traits of what you see at Philadelphia, and I'm a massive fan of Jim at Philadelphia. So I see traits with the Philadelphia style, harder to beat, an aggressive team, and a team that will want to build on their performance against Orlando and start getting some momentum. So, and I suppose from their point of view, they're playing against a team that's lost the last 2 games. So we're going to have to play really well. We're going to have to play really well. We're going to have to probably replicate our form in this stadium last year and better it, because we're playing against a better team, to get a result on Saturday. So that's the challenge for us.
Next question, Austin. Then we're going to go to the call to Mike DePasquale. Go ahead, Austin.
Wanted to ask about Robert Taylor's fitness journey and how he's coming
Yeah.
along. I know you said, I think before the game that he was ready for like 45 minutes. He ended up playing 65, 75.
Yeah.
Has he impressed you so far, and what can we expect from him on Saturday?
Yeah, well, he has impressed me, but I still think there's so much more to come. I think he's only at 60% fitness, so imagine what the boy is going to be like once he's been here a month and got used to the Florida climate. You know, I think a move from Europe, and I've experienced it myself, is really difficult when you come over here. There's things that you just don't take into consideration, regardless of the heat, the time difference, the style of football. It's things off the pitch that takes its toll as well. The settling in process, to getting your social security, getting your driving license. All those things are time consuming. It's not as easy as just turning up to an office and just getting a signature. So it takes time, and he's found it a bit of a whirlwind. He came for 3 or 4 days, went back for 10 days, then's come back, and he's playing catch up. So, but I think we've got a really talented player on our hands. Who you talk about the work in the final third. We're going to get him. We're going to get him in the final third, and he's going to produce those moments, either assists or goals. And really pleased with his attitude, and I'm pleased that he is a real winner within the team. He wants to win every single session, every single drill in training.
We'll go to the call with Mike DePasquale.
Thank you, Ralph. Good afternoon, Phil.
Hi, Mike.
Wanted to ask you, you've made it crystal clear that in these last 2 matches, you have not been happy with some of your top players. How was that message taken this week in training? And do you go into this match this weekend not hesitating to make some changes immediately?
Yeah, I think we're at that point where we've got the players that are coming back from injury, because they're back in the squad now. I've got fantastic options up front. I've got 2 players for every position up front, 2 senior players for every position up front. And we saw it last week. Players not perform, you bring them off the pitch. Players not doing what you want, and you make changes because we've got competition. I always think that this league, and I've been in this league now for over 12 months, 13, 14 months, and I've watched a lot of the football over the years, is that the star players, the DP players, the TAM players are the difference makers. And it's by no means an individual criticism. It's just a fact in this league that the difference makers have to make a difference. And I'm not putting expectations, I'm not putting pressure on any of my players, because those types of words and behaviours and sayings are something that's said throughout this league. So you need your best players to stand up and perform and to deliver. And I think it's the delivery, the ruthlessness, the goals and the assists now that I'm demanding from my team. And I always think that and I go back to when I was a player, I look for the difference makers to deliver in the big games. I look for the difference makers to deliver when it matters. And it's no difference whether it's the MLS, the Premier League, La Liga, Serie A. The real difference makers have to deliver, and if they're not delivering, then that's the pressure and expectations that comes with their position.
All right. No more questions. We'll go to Franco, then Austin.
Phil, speaking on that, building on that, on Saturday you said Higuain's role hasn't changed. You guys expect him to score goals and assist.
Yeah.
And you're strong on that. From my vantage point, tactically his role has changed a little bit. Maybe not your expectation for what he needs to do on the field, but tactically it has changed. Last year, most of the year, he was the guy leading the line.
Yeah.
Now he has someone next to him or ahead of him, and he's doing a little bit more dropping in, especially toward that left side. Has his role tactically changed, in your opinion, or has that not changed at all?
No, because I think if you look at the excuse me, if you look at the positions that he's taking up this year are no different than the positions he was taking up last year. Last year we played a system of 3-4-3 where we had players in the pockets. We had players sort of like, you think about Robbie Robinson, Lewis Morgan played a lot in the pockets, where they had to be high and wide. They had to be on the last line, which allowed Gonzalo to come in and link play. And this year is no different. Just because we've got Leo Campagna up there, Ariel up there, you know, the things that we ask him to do is no different. And that's why I was quite strong after the game in terms of The only thing that's changed is the number on the back, and the number on the back doesn't dictate really my perception of where he should be and what's expected of him. Because I think he's doing no different in terms of the positions he's taking up this year. If you think about the first half, some of the best movements we had was when he was running in behind. He only got the ball once running in behind, but some of the best movements of the team was when he was running in behind off the back line. So we give him that creativity and that freedom to find the space, because he's got the quality. He's got the quality, he's got the game knowledge, he's got the experience to go and find space to help the team. And that's all we've said to him in pre-season, is that he's got the freedom to go and find space, to help the team to be creative, but also to score goals. And that's where that's probably the confusion maybe in what I said last week is that nothing has changed in terms of I expect him to score, I expect him to assist. Does he have the freedom to go where he wants at times? Yes, because he's earned the right for that, because of the quality that he's got. But the demands of him are no different. Against Cincinnati, we, the team, I expect him to score goals and I expect him to assist goals, and that hasn't changed.
But don't you need him in the box to be able to score goals?
Yeah, but I think but if you think back to last season, Franco, I think a lot of the time was the same conundrum for the team. That when the balls were being crossed from Lewis Morgan or Robbie Robinson, that he was always outside the box trailing for the cutbacks. So that was my point, is that nothing's changed really in terms of sort of like his actions, his positions have not changed. We want our best strikers in the box to score. He is our best striker. You know, there's no hiding away from that. He's our best finisher. He's got the most composure. You think about the training performances since I came here, and we tally up, he scores the most goals in training. Why? Because he's got the most quality. And now we just need to see that in games.
We'll do the last two questions, Austin, and then goes with Lauren.
Not to completely switch things up here, but I wanted to ask what you think the importance is of international call-ups, especially for your young players. I know you had Tyler Hall in the academy get called up to the U.S. U17s, Edison Escona, I think, with the Dominican first team.
Yeah.
Robert Taylor, Damion Lowe, on, even though Allen in January went to camp. As a club manager, especially for young players, what do you see the importance of these international call-ups are, and how do you see it in their progression as players?
Yeah, I see it as vital. I've never been an international manager. I have been an international manager. I've never been a manager at club level that doesn't want his players to go to international football, because I think the benefits and the learning benefits that they have from going and playing. You think of Quinteros is going to go and play against Brazil, one of the best, most iconic teams. Edison Escona is going to go and play with senior international football. Ame Mabika is going to go and play with Zambia in two international friendlies. Damion Lowe plays 3 massive games for his country. Yedlin plays 3 massive games for his country. Harvey Cousin plays for Republic of Ireland in one qualifier and 1 international friendly. That for me is a massive learning curve that will benefit into Miami. Can only benefit into Miami. Do we lose them for 5-6 days training? Yes, but when they come back, they've played against some of the best teams in the world, the best strikers, the best defenders, the best midfield players. They've experienced something that probably they can't experience in a short space of time here. So they come back better people and better footballers. So do we want them back quicker? Yes, we want them back quicker. We wish we could get them back a day earlier so we could have a couple of days preparing for the Houston game. But modern football now, and with the COVID situation, with the three international games added to these windows, it means that when they come back, we've just got to suck it up, and every team's in the same boat, and we've got to produce a team to go out there and perform against Houston, and that's the jigsaw for a manager, is we've got to get them back fresh and at different levels. So I love it when they go away. It shows that they're showing in good form for us. It shows that we're developing good players. It shows that this club has a lot of international players, which is good. And I think it's great for their player development.
Last question, Lauren.
Thanks, Rafa. Going back to Saturday's game, how big would a good performance be for this team who is improving every single game with a long season ahead? What would that do for the confidence of this team?
Yeah, I think for the confidence and belief, I think it's going to be massive. We believe we're doing good work. We believe in these players. The players believe in the work that we're doing. But along the way, winning games doubles that belief and doubles that confidence, and what it does, it'll bring them even closer together. The winning feeling is something that I think is something that you can't buy, you can't invest in. It just happens, it comes, and that is the next step for this team, to get the first victory as a new team, get a first victory as a group of players that have not experienced that yet. You look at the tournament that we won in Charleston, even though it was a pre-season tournament, just that feeling of winning and the enjoyment that it brought to them. There's a photo in the training ground over there, just the amount of smiles that brought to the group. I think that's what this group needs now in terms of performance and a victory. And the victory will come if they keep performing at the levels that we know that they can perform at. And that's what we're looking for on Saturday.
Thank you, Coach.
Is this for me?
Yes, sir.
Oh, nice.
He likes it. He likes it.
It's good. It's
They
okay.
put a lot of thought into what flavors to get. And
Yeah.
It's a whole process.
It's a perfect flavor. Strawberry banana. Right after practice. All
Good.
right.
Good to go. Okay, now we're joined by defender Damion Lowe. If you have a question, please raise your hand. We'll get started with Lauren, then Franco.
Thanks, Rafa. What are the positives from last match that the team can take into Saturday's game?
Just the attitude, from training, from the Austin game going into the week of training, everyone was fighting, everyone was motivating each other, not to put our head down, just to stay positive and to be better. We're all quality players. We know what we bring to the table. The club craves it, the organization, the fan craves a positive result. So for us, it's just going on the pitch, putting in a good performance, win, lose, or draw. As long as we leave it all on the pitch and we show a positive attitude that we want to win and want to get good results, that's a plus. And I think we've been doing that so far.
Next question, Franco, then Austin.
Damon, what kind of game should we expect from Inter Miami in this one? Obviously, away from home against a team that's coming off a big win against Orlando. They'll probably have a lot of confidence. Are you guys going to look to dictate the tempo, or is it about just being tight at the back and then picking and choosing your moments when to break them down?
That's kind of a personal one because we can't give away too much, into our game plan. But we've been working on just passing the ball properly, hitting the target, getting more shots, completing plays, finding the back of the net. Coach Phil stressed today, that we've had a lot of success rate with shots and shot conversion, but we haven't been really scoring. So that's, main focus, just trying to score goals, and, goals win matches. I can't go too much into details, into our tactics and stuff that will give Cincinnati the edge. But
What do you expect from them then?
we expect, to be honest, they're a mixed team. They've played 3 games and 3 different formations. They finished with 4 at the back. They're a team that will high press when they're confident, and they'll drop off sometimes. You never know what they're going to come with. They've had a positive result on the weekend, so they can feel optimistic and say, okay, we had a bad result, so they want to be on the front foot and high press. We don't know, but as professionals, we have to just try to train and adapt to any situation and live the game, and we'll be prepared for sure.
Next question, Austin, then Mike DiPasquale.
Talked to Christopher McVay on Tuesday, and I asked him about you guys and your partnership, and he was talking about how many times you guys won the ball back against LAFC. The defense was solid for the most part. I know you gave up 2 goals, but defensively you guys were looking good, winning the ball back a lot. How have you guys planned to transition winning the ball back in those areas into offense? Because it seems like sometimes the transition offense could be a little bit slow at times, and against LAFC the shot numbers were down from the previous 2 games. So winning the ball back obviously extremely important. How do you look to transition that into the offense?
To be honest, if saw the game, it was a very hot day, so everything was a bit slower than the normal. Energy levels were a bit low. Guys were pushing through it. I think as a new team and as a centre-back pairing that's new and still getting used to each other, we just have to train properly, understand each other more and coordinate that into the game. We can do better right across the board. Everybody can step it up a notch, and that's what we're doing. We're not really focusing on the me or the I's. It's just a collective effort from everyone. So if I can pass more forward, play quicker, Chris can intercept passes, win more duels. Myself also, the strikers can shoot more. We can get more goals. That's good, And as a team right now, we're just focused on how can we be good together as a team, because again, we have quality individual players, but how to bring that together collectively is more important than just the me and the I's.
Next question, Mike DiPasquale.
Thank you, Rafa. Good afternoon, Damian. I asked Phil this question, and he has not been mincing his words that the last two matches, he has not been happy with his top players. Was that message reiterated this week? And if it was, how was training? And if I could follow up, is there a sense of urgency right now to get that first win?
Can you repeat that question? You were kind of choppy a little bit.
I'm sorry. Phil said that he has not minced his words, where he's not been happy with his top players, the players that he expects to create chances and score goals in the last two games. Was that message again reiterated this week? And is there a sense of urgency to get that first win?
I mean, across the board, everyone, we can't settle. We can't settle. We know, again, there's room for improvement right across the board. No one is pointing fingers on anyone, nobody, but everyone is taking responsibility, knowing that, okay, yes, I can be better. So in training, we're going to fight hard. We're going to get sharper. We're going to do more to bring that out into the game. Again, we put some stats on the board, and we saw that, we've been taking a lot of shots. We've been having a lot of ball recoveries and stuff in the attacking third and defensive third. How can we transition those stuff into goals and into getting good results? So again, if you look at the individual players that we have, top class, right across the board. But again, it's how we bring everything, that quality together as a team. There's always room for improvement, as I stress, and we just have to continue again to build as a new team step by step, day by day. And it's a long season, it's a marathon, it's not just a 100-meter dash, so there's no reason to panic. I'm sure and I'm confident in my teammates that we're going to do well.
Next question, Franco.
How important is it for you guys to get a win this weekend, though? Obviously, a bunch of you, including yourself, are off to international duty for the next 2 weeks, and you'll be focused on that. But just to go into the break with some confidence for the guys that remain here, as opposed to being like, all right, we still haven't won a game. So how important is it for Inter Miami to win this weekend?
It's always important to get to win, especially going into an international break, because the feeling is always good coming back in. It's massive. It's massive for the club. It's massive for the fans. We want to put points on the board regardless of anything, even if it's from week one. Every week we want to get 3 points. Unfortunately, it's football. You're not going to always win every game. But for us, our mentality in going into every game is to win 3 points every time, and it doesn't change.
Next question, Austin.
A couple of players that I asked about your insertion into the lineup were saying that you're just, a good leader. You help keep the back line organized, and they feel a lot more comfortable with you back there. Do you see yourself as somewhat of a leader of the back line, and what responsibilities do you take on as a player, as a big player in the defense that seems to improve when you're there?
No, I'm grateful, to be able to have my teammates' confidence. I try to, again, be a leader. I try to help, my teammates, and I also take help from them. Again, it's a new team, so whatever we do is to help each other to be better as a team. My philosophy is just going into every game, into every session, being able to learn new things and being able to do my maximum effort in order to make the team successful. Again, I'm grateful for, that my players are confident in me and give me that role to be able to lead from the back and also to affect them positively when I'm out there, to give them a sense of confidence. And, but we're going to build on that again, step by step. Again, there's no need for panic. It's only 3 games in. It's a long season. We just have to continue, again, to grow and to be together as a family.
All right, one last question, Austin.
And also, I wanted to ask about what you've seen from Noah Allen this year, 17-year-old left back, obviously plays next to you on the back line. What have you seen from him, his development, and are you impressed by him and all that kind of stuff?
Yeah, I'm cool with everybody, especially the young guys, because I was in their shoes once. There's always room again for development, but he's confident. He's a kid that listens. He's willing to learn. He listens to his coaches, and he listens to the guys that are ahead of him in that position, or say with pertaining to experience, and I'm happy to have him around. I was really happy. I went over to him and hugged him when I found out he got his homegrown deal. It's good to get rewarded when you see a young player is working hard every day. He doesn't feel overconfident or cocky or anyway like, oh yeah, I'm with the guys now. No, he's just always working, humble, and I'm happy that he's a part of us so he can grow, and I could say one day, I played with that kid. Yeah. bright future for sure.
David, you're captain of Jamaica. There's obviously a fine line between having to shout out instructions to your teammates when they're not doing their job efficiently enough or well enough, and
Mhm.
obviously also put your arm around them and help them out. How do you go about that as a player? Obviously, it impacts
Yeah.
things on the field, off the field. As a captain, as a leader, how do you go about striking that fine balance?
It's easy, to be honest. You just have to be your brother's keeper. With the armband, without the armband, everybody's a leader. But they lead in their own way. They lead in different departments. Gonzalo lead from the front, he bang goals. You know, I stop shots, maybe with my face someday. You know, Clement, you know, rock between the sticks. DeAndre going up and down. That's still leading. That's setting an example. That's setting a standard. Shouting out instructions alone isn't leading. You know, you have to be able to also listen and know how to react and understand your teammates. And for me, yeah, I just take everything in as a sponge, and also I try to teach and confide, you know, and try to make my teammates feel comfortable and a sense of like stability when I'm around, and that's what I try to bring to the table.
And that concludes today's press conference. Thank you, everyone.
All right, thank you. Thanks for having me.
Dave, you look all shiny, bro.
Massage.
Got some lotion?
It's the massage. Blame it on. I'm trying to look thick today, though.